Welcome everyone. I'm really very glad that you all are here. I'm Payal Bhattacharjee, PGD Computer Science of KV number 1 Kachrapara. Before I start on the session, always remember one thing. You must think big and you must think positive in your life for a better future. So let us start on with the DBMS concepts part 4, where we will learn new things. Now, as you know that according to the syllabus prescribed by CBSE, this is for 12 computer science we have DBMS, for 12 IP and for 11 IP also. So let us start. What are the learning outcomes we are going to learn? This is a practical approach video where we will see how practically we can work on with the MySQL queries, and we will learn MySQL queries on database, how to create database, use or open a database, to see your database, to show the databases which are already present, to show all the tables inside a database, and to remove a database, that is to drop a database. And we will also see some DDL queries, like to create a table, to alter a table, and to drop a table, or to remove a table or delete a table. Now moving on with the practical part, queries on database we will learn first. So after you download MySQL, you can download MySQL from mysql.org. It is free and open source, as you know. So you will install the MySQL and you will be able to see by clicking on the Windows button, you will be able to see that MySQL is there, and MySQL command line client you will click on, and then you will get a prompt like this where it will ask you for the password. So give the password, or while installing, if you have not given any password, then you can just press enter and move on, and then you will get a MySQL prompt, and it will give you some message on the version of MySQL and copyright, and it will tell you it will give you the information regarding all this. So once you get the MySQL prompt, that means you are ready for the queries. So let us see what are the different queries we are going to learn now. So first of all, MySQL queries on database. As you know, the cylindrical shape, this is the identification of a database. This is the symbol of database. You will understand that this is a database. Now, to create a database, what we have to do is, we have to write the command create database, then database name. So you have to end the command with a semicolon. Always remember, these are the keywords. Create database is another keyword, so if you make a spelling mistake with this, then the query won't run. And the database name you have to mention. Don't write the angular brackets while writing the database name. I've given one example of how to create a database. This one, see, to create database and space, and then write the name of the database which you want to create. I want to create a database IP batch, so the name of the database is IP batch, and I've given a semicolon. So in this way you can create database, and then to come inside the database you have to write the command use. So use database name, that is to open or enter a database, you have to write the command use. And then to see all the databases, suppose before you begin, first of all you want to see what are the different databases already present, so that you don't give a same name of a database, so you don't create a database which is already existing. So it's better to see the databases, so names will be shown. So show databases is the command, and then show tables. So show tables is after entering the database. Suppose you want to see all the tables what are present, so then you will have to write show tables command. And finally, to remove a database, or to delete a database, you have to write the command drop database name. Remember, drop is the keyword. Don't write delete. You have to write drop database and then database name. So moving on, so let us see practically how to do all this, right? So this is the screenshot which I have taken. Show databases. It is showing the database names, 4 rows. So these are already present databases which are already given. When you first install the database, some databases are by default given. This one is before I installed MySQL 8.0. These were the databases, and later on I upgraded my Windows from Windows 7 to 10 and then upgraded MySQL also. So there you will be able to see some more default databases which are already given. So I will show you practically also. So show databases, it is showing the databases, and then create database. This is the name of the database CSIP which I have created. Query OK. Then show databases. Now it is showing you the CSIP database which you have just now created. So see, this one is the database we just now created, CSIP. It is showing you that. So now if you want to enter the database, you have to write use and then database name. And suppose you want to see all the tables inside that, so you have to write show tables. Now this is the answer of show tables, empty set. This is correct. Why this is correct? Because you have not created any table inside the database CSIP. So that is why it is showing you empty set. Well, one more thing, these are the time which it is showing that to run the query, what is the time it is taking to run that particular query. So let's move on. Now to drop the database CSIP, what you will write? Drop database. Now these are the keywords. Remember, you have to write this drop database. Don't make any spelling mistake. And then you write the database name which you want to drop. And then finally you have to give the semicolon. Remember, semicolon is the statement delimiter. Every query ends with a semicolon. So query OK. That means you have dropped the database successfully. Now to see whether the database has dropped or not, so what you will do is you just write show databases. I have written that. So see, the database CSIP has been removed. Now again it is showing 4 rows. So one thing you always remember, that you can use any text editor to write your queries and run later. So it will be better if you write all the queries in a notepad and then save that notepad.txt file and write all the queries there, and at any point of time you can copy and paste it on your MySQL prompt and run those, right? And one more thing, you know that the queries which we are writing, it is not case sensitive. That means uppercase and lower cases are not treated differently. So you can write your queries in either uppercase letter, that means capital letters, or in small letters. And let me show you how to do this. We using a notepad, and see, this is the MySQL prompt, and let me write the queries first. So I have written the queries. So let us copy these, and I have copied these, and let me run the queries now. Just right click and it will paste. So let us see whether it has run it correctly or not. Yes, show databases. Well, CSIP, this one is already created database. Now I have given the command create database OurDB. So I wanted to create this show databases. Yes, now see, it is showing you OurDB database, and then to come inside database OurDB, use OurDB, database has changed. And then show tables, empty set, since I have not created any tables. And to drop the database, see, it is giving you error. So you have to write, see, I have typed drop database our DB. So let me run this now. Okay, query is okay, it has dropped. See what happened actually when I've written this drop our DB, then I missed this database command. I missed the keyword database. So this is a wrong command which I gave, and then it showed the error 1064 error, and then it will write what is the problem behind this, and then I understood that it is missing something, so the syntax is not correct. So then see this drop database our DB, when I have written this, then this query is running okay, and the database has been dropped. So let us see whether it has been dropped or not. Yes, our DB database which just now I created and then again I dropped also, it's not being shown now. So that means this one is correct. So now let us move on. Well, we have learned the basic queries for working with a database. Now let us learn working with tables, that is relations in a database, right? MySQL queries on with DDL queries, we will learn create, alter, drop with the tables, or tables are also known as relations. So first of all, let us see. For creating a table, that means once you are inside a database, you have created a database, you have given the command use database name. After doing this, you have to create the table. So what you will do? You will write the syntax as create table. There must not be any spelling mistake with these keywords. Intentionally I have written the keywords in capital letters so that you don't make any mistake. You can write it in small letters also. So create table, table name. So table name can be anything. Suppose I want to create a table student. So create table student I will write. And then in parenthesis, always remember this is the first bracket which you say. This is parenthesis. And at the end it will be closed and there will be a semicolon which will tell you the statement delimiter. Now what you will write inside this is, you have to mention the name of the column, all the columns with their data type, their size, and if there are any constraints you have to mention that. You must be remembering what are the different constraints. We have already learned what are the different constraints: primary key, unique, not null, default, check, and foreign key. For foreign key we use references. Well, we won't go into the details of that. We will create one single table and we will see how to do that. So let us see that how to create a table practically, right? So let me move on. This is the screenshot which I have taken. In the prompt I have written this create table DPT. I created this table DPT. Okay, this arrow will come automatically, don't worry about this arrow, right? So you have to give this parenthesis and then the first column name, department number, DPT NO, don't give any space, you can use underscore, and if you want to give any number, so you can write after the name of the column, like DPT NO 1, like that, or suppose you want to name the table as department 1, so DPT 1. Anyhow, to create the table, so you will write create table, table name, column name, parenthesis, column name, this is the data type, size, and then the constraint, primary key constraint I have given, comma. So comma, don't miss the comma if you are giving another column. So dname is the next column, char is the data type, 10 is the size, not null is the constraint on dname, comma. Then dpt underscore loc. See, underscore is allowed for a name, of a column, or even in a name of a table also you can give. So DEPT underscore LOC is the name of the third column, and the data type is varchar, and the size is 15. So this is the bracket closing of DEPT table, and this is the bracket closing of create table parenthesis, which you started here, right? So finally ended with a semicolon. So after this it gave me the error, no database selected. So then what I did is I went inside this database by giving the command use CSIP, and then created the table, and then it showed query OK. And then another table I created, student. So create table student, and you have to give the parenthesis. Better way is this one, that you start the parenthesis in the beginning like this, and you end up the parenthesis here at the last line, and then you give a semicolon, right? It is always better to do like this. So let's see. The first column is ADMNO, admission number, then date of the data type we have given integer, and then the size 6, and then primary key is the constraint, comma. Second column name is sname, then varchar 20 not null, the constraint, DOB. Now date of birth, I have given a short name for the column DOB, and date is the data type, comma, and then don't miss the comma, remember. And then I have given stream, char 8, and default. See default, how to write default is default, don't give any equal to or anything, just write default space, and then what is the default value you want to give to this column, you write that. And you know what default will do. When you will insert records in this table, if you miss the value for stream column, it will by default give us. We will see it in the next video also. Well, then marks, data type, size, check, I have given check constraint, and this is the condition, marks greater than equal to 0 and marks less than equal to 100. Bracket close. Now this bracket close is for this condition, and then comma, and then department number. The last column is the foreign key, which is referencing the DEPT-NO of the first table which I created, the master table. So DEPT-NO, integer, data type, and then size 4, references, and referencing the table name to whom it is referencing, and the column name to whom it is referencing. So this is how we will create a table. But since you have this is your last column, so don't give a comma over here, you just end up with the parenthesis and semicolon. Query OK, you will get the prompt. Now to see the description of the table, that we want to know what is the structure of the table. This is another query, DESC or describe query. Now what it will do is it will tell you the fields which you have in the table, the data type and the size, and then what are the different constraints you have used in the table. It will show you that. So this is the syntax. So DESC, table name. If you write describe space and then table name, then also it will give you the same output. So it is showing all field type null. So null, okay, admission number and sname you cannot give null, but you can give null value to DOB, stream, marks and department number, and admission number is the primary key. So this is written pri, and default you have not given any default value. Default value is null. By default it is taking, and arts it is taking for stream. You must be remembering that we have given arts as the default value for stream column. Nothing extra we have given, and this much. So this is how we describe a table. That is we see the description of the table, And let us see practically how to create a table and how to see the structure of a table. So what I have done is I have kept the coding in Notepad. So for creating a table I am taking this. The name of the table is student, admission number, and I have kept it as primary key integer 6. S name I have taken as char 20, not null. DOB date, stream, marks, department number. So before we move on, first we have to create the database. Since I dropped the database, so I will create the database, our DB. Now I have to go inside the database. Now we are inside the database changed. Now what I will do is I will paste the create table command. See how I have done is I have ended with a semicolon. I started the bracket over here, parenthesis, and ended here. So let's see. Wow, query okay. You feel so great when your query runs. So let us see whether this will show me the structure of the table or not. Yes, it is showing me the structure of the table. And see one thing, if I click the up arrow, you will be able to see the commands. You move down arrow, you will see the commands which are there after this. So describe, I'm typing. Okay, see, describe and DSC both are showing the same output, right? Description of the table, field, type, null, key, default, extra. So these are the things. Now let us move on and see what is there in next. So DDL queries, the next query we will learn is alter table query. Now what we can do using alter table is we can add a new field to the table. See, we can add a new column. We are adding a column to the table. Suppose you want to add a column named address or maybe phone number in the table student, so you can do that. Suppose you want to drop an existing field from the table, that means you want to remove a field, so you will use drop. To modify, change an existing fields, the data type, size, field name. Now suppose that table which you have created, if you want to change the size of the table, size of a particular column. Suppose you have given S name for the table student as char 20. Now I don't want that. I want to make it varchar 30. Let us take varchar 30. So how you will do that? So you will have to modify that existing field. You have to change the data type, you have to change the size, and you can change the constraints also using modify. So alter, with alter command you can add a new field, drop an existing field, and you can modify, or you can also change the name of a field. And what else you can do is 3 more things which you can do with alter command is you can add a new constraint, you can drop a constraint, and you can modify or change an existing field's constraints. Though we will not go into the details of adding and dropping a constraint, but we will see these things to add, to drop, and to modify existing fields. So let us begin practically. So moving on. Okay, so once we have created this table, this is the description of the table. Now one by one we will see what. So see, this is the table which you have: admission number, S name, DOB, stream, marks, department number. You don't have any records now, right? Because you have not inserted any record. Now what we will do is one by one we will see to add a new column. Now to add a new column, what you will do? Alter table, and you will write table name, add is the keyword, and then write column name, and then mention the data type, size, and constraint if you have any. For example, alter table student, add address varchar 40. So the query is okay. You have added address column with this data type and size. Now to modify an existing column's data type or size, what you will write? Alter table table name. So you remember this clause, alter table table name. Modify. Now this time the keyword is modify instead of add. Now the keyword is modify, and then you write the name of the column and then the new data type which you want to give and the new size which you want to give, right? And this is optional, first after column. That means you want to give the column at the first or after which column you want to modify this, that also you can mention. Then to change the name of an existing column. To change the name of an existing column, the keyword we will use this time is change. See, these are the keywords which we are using with alter command. Add, modify, change, and then we will see drop. Now let us see change. Change. Now what you will write? Old column name, new column name, and column definition. The new column's definition what you want to give. For example, alter table student, change. Suppose you want to change the name of the this DPTNO column as DNO, and this is the data type and size you want to give. So you will give it like this. Now drop is the keyword which you are using with alter table. Drop you have used with to remove a database. That was different. Drop database, that was a drop command. Now here the drop is the keyword, the drop clause we are using with alter table. So this will remove an existing column. Suppose we want to remove the column DOB. So what we will do? Alter table student, drop DOB. Just mention that. No need to mention the data type and size, because we will only remove. We need the name of the column only to remove the existing column. So then to add a unique key constraint, not much of details is there in your syllabus, but let us see quickly. Alter table student, add constraint unique address. What we are doing is we are making the column address as unique. So we are adding a constraint this time. We are not adding a column. Column address we have already created. Now we want to add the constraint to the column address. Which constraint? We want to add this unique constraint, right? And to drop a primary key constraint, what we will have to write? Alter table table name, drop primary key. Only the condition we want to remove. So if I do like this, alter table name, drop primary key, so then what will happen is, see, the primary key constraint which was there, PRI, now this has been removed. If you see the description of the table, then that means yes, the primary key constraint has been removed. The column is still there, but the primary key constraint has been removed. And to add a primary key constraint, what we have to write? Alter table, a table name, add primary key, and whom you want to make the primary key. You can make composite primary keys also, so you have to mention the name of the columns over here. So alter table name, add primary key. Over here again, suppose we want to make admission number as the primary key, so I have written admission number. So after that you just see, describe the table, and then see PRI is there, that means admission number has been again given the constraint primary key, right? So let us see one by one the practical part. So let us move into our database. Database changed. Now I have kept all the queries here in one editor notepad. So let me copy this and create the table. Let us see whether this table exists or not, whether any table exists or not. No, there is no table since we have not created any table. So let us see DESC. Okay, since we have not created any table, so let us create the table. So query okay. We have created the table admission number, S name, DOB, stream, marks, department number, and with their data type, size, and constraints, right? So let us see whether alter queries they run properly or not. So what we want to do is we want to add the city column. We want to add a column named city with varchar 30 and not null constraint. So just paste it. Okay, query okay. Wow, you feel great when you see this query okay written. So that means this column has been added. So let us see whether it has been added or not. Yes, great. City has been added with varchar 30. And let us see the next query. So the next query is alter table to add phone number, another. So adding. Okay, fine. So if you click up arrow, then it will give you the queries which you have just run. So fine, phone, this is another field which has been added. Now let us see this one, to modify a column and to change the name of a column. Let me copy both these commands and okay, query is okay. For alter table student, modify S name varchar 40, varchar it was char 20 for S name, and then what I did is I changed it for varchar 40. I modified the data type and size of the column S name. So modify is the keyword which I have used, and then to change the name of a column you have to use the keyword change with the alter command. So alter table name, change, and then DOB is the column which was already there. So this is the old name, and then what I did is I am changing the old name with the new name, birthday. This is the new field name which I am giving, and date is the new data type, data type which I am giving. DOB, since it's birthday, it will still keep the date value, so that is why date only. So query is okay, fine. So now let us see whether the third one it will run or not. So this is the third query for dropping a particular column. Okay, so let us see whether these changes are there or not. So let's see whether it has been reflected or not. Yes, the stream column has been dropped, and the DOB column has been renamed with the name birthday. So very good. So you have successfully run all this, and you have modified S name with varchar 40. Yes, S name is varchar 40. So let us move on. So let us move on. Now we have learned how to work with alter query. Okay, one more thing. Let us do the alter query command and drop the primary key constraint from the admission number column. So what was the command? The command is to drop a primary key constraint. Remember, alter table drop and write the name of the constraint. Mention the name of the constraint which you want to remove. So drop primary key. So how you will understand whether you have run this successfully or not? So let us describe the table. Okay, see, the primary key constraint has been removed from admission number. Now to add again, so what you will write? You will write primary key, and whom you want to make primary key. You can make multiple columns as primary key, composite primary keys. We won't go into the details of that. We will make admission number again as our primary key. So that's why I have given ADMNO in bracket and mention the constraint which I am adding. So let us see whether it is running okay or not. Yes, so primary key constraint has been added, which was not there, right? So very nice. So let us move on with the last DDL command, that is dropping a table, that is to delete an entire table. It's a very easy query. Just you have to write drop table and table name. You can also write drop table if exists table name. So we will use this easy command only, drop table name. See, drop table name, query okay. So how you will understand whether this query is okay or not? Describe student, since the table doesn't exist, so it is showing this error. So let us see practically over here. If I drop the table student, query okay. So now let us see whether it has been dropped or not. Yes, very good. Congratulations, you have dropped the table. So our DB is the name of the database and this is the name of the table which you have deleted. So this is the way you work with DDL commands. And one funda I will give you for the DDL commands. You see this keyword table keyword you use with DDL commands. Create table, alter table, drop table. Remember, table keyword you use with DDL commands. You don't give table keyword with DML commands. This is my funda of remembering. Anyhow, because I have seen many doing mistake in this. Finally, always remember, the struggle you are in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. So always stay safe, stay aware, stay healthy, stay alert. Thank you for your patient hearing.